Imagine a world where the medicines we rely on to fight infections no longer work. This isn't science fiction. It's a growing reality. Antibiotic resistance is silently becoming one of the biggest threats to global health, and superbugs are at the center of this crisis. But here's where it gets exciting. Scientists have harnessed the power of artificial intelligence, AI, to discover a groundbreaking antibiotic called Halicin, which could be a game-changer in the battle against drug-resistant bacteria. What makes Halicin so special, and what challenges lie ahead before it can reach patients? Let's dive into the story of how AI is reshaping medicine. Understanding the crisis. What is antimicrobial resistance? Antimicrobial resistance, AMR, occurs when bacteria, viruses, fungi, or parasites evolve to withstand the effects of medications designed to kill them. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, AMR was directly responsible for 1.27 million deaths globally in 2019 and contributed to nearly 5 million additional deaths. To put that into perspective, that's more than the population of some small countries wiped out in just 1 year. The COVID-19 pandemic only worsened the situation, as resistant hospital-acquired infections surged by at least 15% in U.S. hospitals between 2019 and 2020. Why has AMR become such a pressing issue? One major reason is the overuse and misuse of antibiotics, whether in human medicine, agriculture, or even veterinary practices. Another hurdle is the slow and expensive process of developing new antibiotics. Traditional research and development platforms face significant technical barriers, including a lack of chemical diversity and inefficient screening methods. These challenges have discouraged pharmaceutical companies from investing in new antibiotics. Enter AI, a revolutionary tool that promises to breathe new life into drug discovery. Meet Halicin, an AI-driven breakthrough. Halicin represents a monumental leap forward in antibiotic research. Discovered by researchers at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, using a custom deep learning model, Halicin stands out as one of the first antibiotics identified entirely through an AI-driven approach. Its name pays homage to HAL 9000, the iconic AR from Stanley Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey. Ironically, Halicin wasn't originally intended to fight bacteria. It was initially developed to treat diabetes, but failed clinical trials due to poor results. The journey to rediscover Halicin began with training a deep neural network, DNN, on a dataset of 2,335 molecules. The goal? To teach the model to recognize structural features linked to antibacterial activity against Escherichia coli, a common bacterium. Once trained, the DNN screened thousands of digital compounds, focusing on libraries like the Drug Repurposing Hub, which contains molecules previously studied for human use. Among these candidates, Halicin emerged as a top contender with remarkable predicted antibacterial potential. What sets this AI-driven method apart is its ability to reduce human bias, unlike traditional approaches, which often favor familiar chemical structures. The AI learned structure-activity relationships directly from data. This allowed the model to identify antibacterial properties in a molecule that might otherwise have been overlooked by medicinal chemists. How does Halicin work? The secret behind Halicin's effectiveness lies in its unique mechanism of action. Most antibiotics target specific proteins within bacteria, but Halicin disrupts something far more fundamental, the proton motive force, PMF. The PMF is an electrochemical gradient essential for bacterial survival, powering processes like energy production, nutrient uptake, and stress response. Because the PMF is highly conserved across bacterial species, it's much harder for bacteria to develop resistance to Halicin compared to conventional antibiotics. Specifically, Halicin works by collapsing the pH gradient across bacterial cell membranes. It likely does this by forming complexes with iron ions, Fe3+, which leads to ATP depletion and ultimately causes bacterial cell death. This novel mode of action gives Halicin a distinct advantage over existing antibiotics. Can Halicin tackle superbugs? In preclinical studies, Halicin has demonstrated impressive efficacy against a range of multidrug-resistant MDR pathogens. For instance, it successfully neutralized dangerous superbugs like Acinetobacter baumannii, methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus, MRSA, Mycobacterium tuberculosis, and Clostridioides difficile in both lab tests and animal models. However, there's a catch. Halicin struggles against Pseudomonas aeruginosa, a notoriously tough pathogen with an impermeable outer membrane that limits the drug's entry. This limitation raises an important question. Can halicin truly serve as a universal solution, or will certain bacteria always find ways to evade it? This is the part most people miss. The road to conquering AMR won't be paved with silver bullets, but rather a combination of innovative strategies. Advantages and challenges ahead. One of halicin's standout qualities is its broad-spectrum activity against MDR pathogens. Additionally, its unconventional mechanism of action makes it less prone to inducing resistance in laboratory settings. Early safety assessments also suggest low acute toxicity, making it a promising candidate for further development. However, halicin isn't without its hurdles. So far, it hasn't been tested in human clinical trials, leaving its safety and efficacy in real-world scenarios uncertain. Preclinical studies indicate potential pharmacokinetic issues, such as poor absorption into the bloodstream and rapid elimination from the body. These factors may limit its effectiveness for treating systemic infections. Furthermore, long-term safety studies in animals hint at possible kidney toxicity at high doses, raising concerns about its overall safety profile. These challenges highlight a broader issue in AI-assisted drug discovery. While AI excels at predicting biological activity, future models must also account for critical factors like absorption, distribution, metabolism, and excretion. ADME. Only then can we ensure that promising compounds like halicin translate into viable treatments. The future of AI in antibiotic discovery. The rediscovery of halicin marks a pivotal moment in the intersection of AI and infectious disease research. By accelerating the drug discovery process and reducing costs, AI-driven approaches offer hope for revitalizing antibiotic development. Yet, as we celebrate this milestone, we must also ask ourselves, are we ready to embrace the ethical and practical implications of relying on AI for medical breakthroughs? Should AI play an even larger role in shaping the future of healthcare? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you believe AI will revolutionize medicine, or are there risks we're overlooking? Share your opinions in the comments below.